Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Sun and Moon is so close. I mean, they're just throwing out trailers all over the place, all the time. I think that is in part to do with the reception of initial Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. A lot of people didn't like it initially, and I think Pokemon and Nintendo have brought it back around with the amount of trailers they've been publishing and how they've been hyping it up. Don't you think so, Magikarp? Yeah, so this is going to be a real short and sweet video, ladies and gentlemen. I have my Magikarp Stuffy. You can get one of these for $15 off of eBay. Pretty nice stuffy, I like it a lot. So feel free to try and find one if you're looking for one yourself. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm making this short and sweet is because there's not much to say, but there has been an exclusive interview that has alluded to Ultra Sun and Moon being the last game that is going to be published on the 3DS, that is Pokemon. Now, remember, this wording is 3DS, so that doesn't mean that Nintendo can't come out with another comparable handheld console, but that does mean that if this is the last Pokemon game that's going to be published on the 3DS, that means there's probably going to be a new DS-type game system, a new Game Boy, something similar to that. Now, with that said, I want to apologize for the lighting. It's rather late, but I do have to record this video because I'm going to be gone this weekend down to Kentucky, Fort Knox, visiting my father, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So there's not going to be a lot of bells and whistles going on with this video. It's going to be rather short and sweet because there's really not much to say about this other than speculation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not really a surprise to me, and I wouldn't really be shocked if the 3DS line was ending soon and shortly. I think they're going to move things over to the Nintendo Switch. A lot of people think that the Nintendo Switch is going to be the core system and the handheld from now on. I'm not sure about that. Maybe in the future Nintendo will make a more powerful core system and use the NX Switch or whatever they are going to end up calling the next handheld. They will use the Switch itself as the backbone for the mobile market system. I don't know. I have no idea. That would be cool with me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be cool with that as well. With that said, though, I do have to speculate that if they are putting the next Pokemon game on the Switch, and it is to be a core game, be careful about wording. Nintendo could be playing with words. Game Freak, Pokemon, they could all be playing with words and messing with you. You guys can check out the interview that's linked down below as well. It's going to be Nintendo Life, the website where I got it off of, and it's an exclusive Game Freak interview where they explain why we should all play Pokemon Sun and Moon, and that will be Ultra Sun and Moon, the sequels of Pokemon Sun and Moon. So, if you haven't played Sun and Moon, they probably want you to play them too, but they really want you to play Ultra Sun and Moon as well. With that said, there's a lot of things that they talk about in this, but they can't really detail and divulge a lot of information in this interview because the game still has yet to be released, and again, you don't want to spoil yourself. A big emphasis is put on Necrozma and the different legendary versions that you can get of Necrozma, and also the wormholes themselves. They're really excited about that. I like what Nintendo and Game Freak and Pokemon have been doing, pushing the marketing and changing things around for this, so that's really, really good, and I'm really excited for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Now, with that said, I do have one other thing that I have to talk about. Our buddy, Professor K, at the Pokemon Evos, that's his name, he's been involved in a very serious car accident. His son's okay, he's okay, but he is suffering what's considered to be a chest contusion, a problem with his chest, which is not good, a lot of muscular pain. And I'll tell you, if you see the accident, I'll throw up the image on the video here, it's not good. It's not good at all, ladies and gentlemen. I really am feeling for the guy, to say the least. I've asked him and talked to him on Twitter in direct messages. He says he does not have health insurance because he can't afford it, and I feel for him. I'm sure he can. I use the veterans insurance, the VA, so I'm very lucky and blessed in that, but I did earn it. I did 5 years in the military, so of course I get VA insurance, and that's really nice for me, but a lot of other people can't afford health insurance. It's rough. He says he has no idea about the hospital bills yet. I've asked him several questions. He says they're going to try and bill his car insurance. Now, I'm not here to set up some big GoFundMe or anything like that. If you want to donate to him, I'm sure you can find a way. But the best thing that you can do that's 100% free and doesn't cost you anything is to hit him up on Twitter and just send him a big thumbs up from Protomario. Say, hey, you know, man, I heard you was involved in a car accident. I hope you're doing better. Mad love from me. Check out some of his videos. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that. Like and share him around. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that a lot. And again, if you want to donate directly to him, you can contact him and personally message him over on Twitter or in other various ways, of course. And that probably will help him out. Do I think he's going to need it? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure we're going to find out more information with that. But because he's been a good friend to me, I will be a good friend to him, and I will shout this information out. Now, with that all said, I want to kind of close out this video with a little bit of speculation here. This is going to be a laid-back discussion, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be throwing up pictures or talking about anything other than just straight Pokemon. Again, pardon the lighting. I'm very sorry that I have to record this at night, but time does get away from me and doesn't allow for certain things. If you guys think I'm some kind of fake or false Pokemon fan, it's not necessarily untrue or true. I have fallen away from Pokemon in the last years because of the difficulty that is in the games themselves. They're very simplistic. There's no questioning that. I get very tired. I really do, man. I'm tired right now because I just got back from the gym. But like how I feel right now is how I feel when I play a lot of Pokemon games. It's been a chore for me to just finish through Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I'm not saying that those games are bad. They're great. They're fantastic, but I continuously play these games, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. And I think Ultra Sun and Moon's really going to bring a fresh perspective to the game, so I'm very, very excited for that. But with that said, and bearing that in mind, it does go and bring up the question, what happens if it's not? What happens if it's a colossal failure? What will that do to the Pokemon series? Now, I'm telling you, I really don't think it will be a colossal failure. But if you look at the Black and White 2 sales compared to the Black and White sales, there's a difference in numbers there. And the same can be said for almost any sequel out there. To make a sequel surpass or equal the original, it's very, very difficult. And Pokemon Sun and Moon was one of the most successful game launches that Pokemon and Nintendo have pushed and marketed and was allowed to be successful at in a number of years. Pokemon was on the brink, teetering. It's still the second most grossing franchise, which means, you know, everything that it does and it encompasses as a video game franchise itself, it is only beaten by Mario. There's very few other game series. Don't confuse this with the series just selling games themselves, but as a franchise. It's a massive franchise. It's huge, man. So it's really, really cool that it's doing well. But just like with Metroid, just like with the other series that Nintendo produces, this has to do well for them to be wanting to produce more games. Now, Pokken Tournament Fighter isn't doing that well on the Switch. I mean, that's obvious. We've already got it for the Wii U, and they didn't add too much to it. Some people will contest and fight and say, oh my god, Pokken Tournament on the Switch is awesome. And hey man, more power to you, good, great, I'm glad you like the game. But in terms of sales, it's not doing great. So that in turn discourages Game Freak and the Pokemon Company from doing things outside the box, outside their safe zone. So when it comes to core IPs, when it comes to core games, all they end up doing is rehashing the same formulas, rehashing the same Pokemon. So this one really breaks out of the paradigm. It really breaks out of the comfort zone because not only are they introducing new Pokemon mid-games, I almost want to say mid-season, but like really between Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, it's introducing new Pokemon. And that's something that they really haven't done a lot in the past, if at all. There's been unique and special versions of things, like, oh, you can get a different form of Giratina or something. Yeah, cool, right? Awesome. But at the end of the day, they haven't really introduced new Pokemon, and they're introducing new Ultra Beasts, which is way awesome. I think that's cool. I don't really like the Ultra Beasts personally. I think they look more like Digimon to me. I can't be the only one who sees this comparison, and I'm going to be making a video about that sometime soon. But with all that said, I think they really are shifting paradigms and trying to do new things. The way they've introduced the trailers, you know, this isn't the same Alola that you were expecting and things like that. They're definitely making a clear indication to us, the consumers, the buyers, that this isn't going to be the same game. And I think that's exactly how they wanted to make it, because a lot of people perceived it to be becoming the same exact game, just a rehash of the whole formula and everything else. And then they're making clear indication, hey, no, it's not. This is completely different. We changed things around. So please buy the game and try it out before, you know, you make up your mind. And that's exactly what they're saying and how they're feeling. So again, check out these interviews. It's really interesting to see. If this is the last Pokemon game on 3DS, cool. Will we get another handheld that is exclusively going to be pushed for Pokemon games alone? That's a good question. At the end of the day, does it really matter? No, I'll still continue to buy the systems I want to buy and play the systems I want to play. Please like and share this. If you enjoyed this discussion, give me a big thumbs down if you didn't enjoy it, and let me know what I can do better with some constructive criticism. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, God bless, and thank you for watching.